Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is American Riot, aka the King of Hype, and today I have another CROWZ video for you all. Now, I wanted this to be a review video on the second closed beta test for CROWZ and to see how it actually compared to the first beta test. Now, if you haven't seen the first beta test, I will link the video in the description below. Please go check that out. Spoiler alert, the performance was terrible. You'll see more about that, but there was a lot of good things. So I wanted to see how that stacked up. However, we could not get into a game. Now, to be fair, I was very busy the last few days, and I was only able to try to get into the second closed beta test on the last day that it ran. But it was still a day that the beta test was open, and I couldn't find games. A lot of my community members who tried to get into the second closed beta test previous to the last day that it was up couldn't get into games either. So it was very frustrating. But this video is going to be about the training grounds. So what are the training grounds? Well, training ground is a game mode that you can go into in CROWZ, and think of it as the firing range for Battlefield 4. There are transport vehicles that you can jump into. There are tanks, there are helicopters, there are boats. There are training sites set up all over this little island that you can go to and hone your skills based on different skill sets. And it's pretty cool. The island itself is set up like what I would think of as a real military installation on a real island somewhere. So that was pretty cool. So I would say it was immersive as well. Now, since the training ground was the only game mode that my community and I could actually jump on and play in the closed beta test 2, since we couldn't find a game, well, we jumped in training ground for a while and just messed around. And actually, we had a blast. My community members were telling me they had more fun jumping in the tanks and flying the helicopters in this, right, on a closed beta test on CROWZ than they did in 2042. And I gotta say, like, I spent some time in the helicopter flying around, and the controls were more intuitive, and the helicopter just felt better to fly than it did in 2042. Well, than the helicopters, I should say, in 2042, which, like, is wild and speaks volumes about the quality that these guys are putting into their game. So with all that being said and all that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into our tour and show you all the different training sites you can go to on the island and what they're about. So whenever you spawn in on the island, it will spawn you in at random spawn locations. And the first place we started out was this warehouse here, where you can select a ton of different weapons and practice your mount skills. And if you don't know what mount stands for, that stands for Military Operations in Urban Terrain, which is pretty cool that you can go into this warehouse, shoot the targets, do a little tutorial for a little bit of XP, and then go about your day. Next, you'll see a parkour site, a pistol range, and a vehicle garage. Coming off the vehicle garage, you will see a basic obstacle course with separate entrances for starting and finishing said course. Dude, I feel like a tour guide right now. I didn't know this was going to be the video. So after you pass that, we'll hit the tank range right here. You can check out all the armor that they have. I think they only had 2 tanks that we could choose from. But you jump in the tank range. From the tank range, we'll actually come around, and then you will see the helicopter pad to the right-hand side of that, where you can jump in the helicopters and fly those around. Once you go past the helicopter pad, you will see the docks, and if you continue past that, there's actually a sniper range down there, which is really cool. There's another warehouse you can go into, but if you pass that warehouse, there's actually a sniper range, and it's actually a really cool sniper range. It's way out, hundreds of meters, and you can actually zero your weapon and hit the targets, which is pretty cool. So, I mean, I think that pretty much concludes the tour. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, I really wanted this video to be an overview and review of the second closed beta test and what the developers were able to change or fix or improve and or break during the second closed beta test. However, that just wasn't in the cards for this one, but at least we got to check out the training ground and really jump in there and mess around with it for a while. And so I hope this video adds value to you. And hey, if you stuck around this long, I think we're like 4.5, 5 minutes into the video now, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. We've got more CROWZ content coming out for you. We got some Ready or Not content coming out. So yeah, third-person shooters, first-person shooters, Battle Royale, and maybe even a survival game every once in a while. But guys, thank you so much for being here. Have an awesome one, and we'll see you on the next one. Let's go!